So I'm a big fan of Crybaby gum. Have you ever
Uh-huh.
had Crybaby gum before?
No, I don't think so. I've had like Warheads,
Looks
and
like-
then
Have you seen it before?
do they have a hard candy version of that?
This is hard. It's like gum, but it's like hard gum. And then they do have the
okay, I know what you're
tiers.
talking about.
Because maybe it was in Annapolis. I was like eating it, and I was like, "Do you guys want this disgusting candy?" And you were like, "No." So maybe that's what you're
I don't
thinking
know.
of.
No, I mean, it's a sour, right? Like I've had a lot of sour candies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is like a bubble gum, but it's not really bubbly. It's more it like chews for 30 seconds before it turns into concrete.
Yeah,
Like, they
yeah.
built the Taj
hate
Mahal with
those.
this stuff. Really?
You know that gum? Yeah, I want gum that's like rubber. Like I want it to just be like flavored rubber, right? Like the ones that
That's
like you
fucked
chew
up.
for a little bit and then it becomes like weird and chalky and like hate it. I need
I
a
don't
jaw
love the
workout.
texture.
All right, pause. Go on.
Well, that's why you get 60 of the Crybaby gums, because then you just like you spit them out after 2 minutes, and then
You
chew
just like
another
pop
one.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like
yeah.
chain
And then
smoking,
I
but
think-
with crybaby gum.
We definitely talked about this before because we talked about peeling a layer of your mouth out, like from the
So
sour
we were talking about
candy.
sour candies, yeah.
Yeah,
And I think we
yeah.
mentioned Warheads, and I definitely brought up Bartlett's because it like burns
right,
your
'cause we
tongue.
were like, what the
and,
fuck is
your-
a Bartlett?
The inside of your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, these are mine. These are my like classic candy that makes you shed. So
Yeah, hell yeah.
but these were from Five Below. I had to just run to Five Below to get Christmas candy. We're recording on Christmas Eve. Oops, like 3 days before the episode comes out.
Wow.
But these are like special, like liquid center Crybaby gums, which I don't know if I've had.
Interesting.
I didn't know that they did this. Like,
You get
that
a
they
little
had
kick.
other- Yeah. So I'm gonna eat one on mic, but you should talk about something while I do this, so it's not just the sounds of me eating. Let me
Oh, okay.
get some ASMR.
I don't know what to talk about.
What are you doing for
Oh.
Christmas?
Not much. I'm staying home because one of my cats is sick. And he's really been sort of back and forth. The last 2 weekends has been pretty rough. But he had a lot more energy this past weekend and the past couple of days. So I don't know. Things are looking on the up and up. I am continuing one of my Christmas traditions, which I've kept up for right about 10 years now, and that is watching the Christmas episode of Phineas and Ferb, which
Cute.
I try to do every, 24th into 25th at around midnight, multiple times, at least, okay, so I think 2 or 3 years ago, 2 years in a row, I was watching it over my parents' house, midnight, going into Christmas. We had just finished up setting up the tree, yada yada, and I watched it with Gizmo, who was their really old cat. And I distinctly remember one time I was watching it on my phone. I was just sort of laying down, in the middle of the living room or whatever, and Gizmo came up and just sat down on my back or laid down on my back.
That's cute.
And, yeah, so we were just watching it together. It was fun. So now I get to watch it with my cats, who I'm usually not home with on Christmas. So they all get to enjoy it as well.
They've never seen it.
You've never seen it? Oh my god!
Well, I've never seen it, but I said the cats have never seen it.
They have also never seen it. I can't believe. Oh, it's a great episode, honestly.
I don't know anything about Phineas and Ferb. I know that one of
Ooh.
them has a pointy face.
Yeah,
And people
I
make
think
a
it's-
joke about a platypus. It's
Yes.
blue, right?
Yeah. Perry the Platypus. He is the B plot of every episode.
Is he like a detective? He's got a Sherlock Holmes getup, right?
Yeah, he's got a fedora. He's not a detective. He's a secret agent, right? I'm not going to get into it, but I think it's one of the best sitcoms ever made. And Rolling
Okay.
Stone agrees with me. It made its list of the top 100. I think it was in the 50s, I want to say. Which isn't,
you
I guess,
watch
great
Seinfeld?
for the number of sitcoms there are. We talked about Seinfeld before. I grew up on Seinfeld, and I really liked it as a kid. And as I've sort of aged and I get a bit more of the
Ricky
jokes,
was
and like
27 years old.
yeah, right. Well, I mean, I think I have a different perspective at 27 than I did at like 8, right? Like,
Thank God.
or like
Yeah.
as a young teen. I think a lot of it has aged pretty poorly. And some of the best bits on there are honestly like Larry David bits. And you can kind of see that in some of the other shows that he's worked on. Not Curb Your Enthusiasm. Is it
30 Rock?
Wait, well, he did work on 30 Rock as well. Wait, is it Curb Your Enthusiasm that he was like one of the main writers for? Yeah.
He's the guy. It's him.
He's the
He
guy.
plays himself, right?
Yeah. I don't know. He's so funny, man. Like, and I don't know. You can almost tell like what bits like that they're running in the show are like from like who, you know? Like
For
everyone
sure.
has their own sort of like creative voice in the room, and I don't know. It's interesting to sort of like watch it from that lens and sort of break down like, oh, okay, like this is like a recurring bit that they're doing. This is a bit that is like pretty indicative of a certain person. And like maybe it's something that someone else noticed, right? And they're like building off of like someone else's jokes, yada yada, whatever.
See, the reason I brought this up is because I think if I did a supercut of all the times on this show you've said yada yada yada, I think you would be embarrassed. I think you would feel,
really.
I think you would feel shame. Yeah.
Eh.
Also, I want you to know that was I don't know how much time passed, but that was one crybaby gum, 1 unit of measure.
I think right around 4 minutes. That's double the time we were expecting. It's the liquid center, you know?
The liquid center keeps it soft. It's not, It gives extra mixing time to it. So.
The cement that you're mixing up, Not bad.
Exactly.
No, but I did try to watch some Seinfeld recently, and it's not nearly as good as I remember it. Some of the episodes are still, like, pretty funny and fine, but some of them are just, like it'll be like multiple jokes that I'm like, just not good, just not a good one, man. Like, ooh, should have put that one back in the fucking oven, you know? Like, need a little more time in the proving drawer. Like,
is that
anything,
the funniest thing we've ever said? Is
what?
Put that one back in the oven? Like, it comes up a lot. Yeah.
I don't know. That's one that I like to use. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, introduce this podcast.
So this is We Want to Eat. We talk about different foods that we're eating, and like weird candies and stuff, and then sometimes we touch on movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
My name's Ricky.
This is We Want to Watch, and my name's Lane, and this is our Christmas episode, the last episode of 2024.
Yeah.
It's our
That's crazy.
Our dual episode. We each kind of picked a movie. We each picked a movie. You picked While You Were Sleeping from 1995, directed by John Turteltaub, and I had picked The Christmas Chronicles from 2018, directed by Clay Kaytis.
So, can I just say that from like an outsider's perspective, if this is like
This seems awful. If this is your first episode, just hang up.
Okay,
like, go, yeah.
That, true. But this is like going up to the bar and like I'm like, oh yeah, I could get like a beer and like a martini, right? And then like I walk back and I hand you the beer and I'm like sipping the martini. I'm like,
not at all. This is
because
this is not.
I feel like
this is a white Russian and a cosmopolitan.
Okay, fair. Well, just in terms of like defying expectations, I feel like Christmas Chronicles is a Ricky pick. And
is it though? Is it? I don't know.
I keep wanting to say Sleeping at Last, and While You Were Sleeping is a Lane's pick. Mostly just in terms of...
I would never have picked While You Were Sleeping.
Really? Wow.
I'm not a rom-com person. I don't like rom-coms. I don't like Sandra Bullock. I don't like Bill Pullman. Like, as actors.
Oh my god. Sheesh.
Personally, but, yeah, it's just, I would have never, ever in a million, billion, trillion years watched that movie if it weren't for you. I don't think if someone was not compelling me to watch it, I would never have watched it.
Wow.
Just not even like, I didn't hate it or anything. Like, it's just so not, I don't think of it as Elaine's frame at all. But I hear what you're saying. It's like well-known, well-acclaimed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But it's
like
not my
a more
personal
traditional-ish Christmas movie. Yeah, I could see that not being your taste. That makes
and also,
sense.
don't shit talk the Lane's frame, because the Lane's frame can also be a shitty movie.
That's true.
A classic
That's true.
Lane's frame.
Yeah, you pull some real shitters out. All right, like, you really hit us with them sometimes.
Real shitters, no.
Yeah.
So, should we? How do we want to do this? Do we want to, like, I don't know. Do we want to kind of cover both? I know you have a history with actually both of these movies. So Ricky and I saw each other this past weekend. Didn't record, but and you were like, "Oh yeah, actually, I realized I've seen not just the Christmas Chronicles, but all in the trilogy." And I was like, "What the fuck?" Also, save it for the pod.
Yeah, I have seen the entirety of the Christmas Chronicles, and I didn't realize
seen the whole Chronicle.
Yeah, I've seen all the Chronicles.
You chronicled them. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize it because, like, I think I've only seen the end of the first one, but I've definitely seen the second, and, like, if there is a third, I've seen it.
I think there's a third. I'm pretty sure.
I feel like there's a third, yeah. But this is, like, one of the ones that my little sister Elizabeth likes a lot. And
maybe it's just two.
It might just be two.
Sorry.
I definitely remember the second. I feel like there was another one, but, like, it could have just been a movie that I was compelled into watching by the family. I don't know.
Oh no, there's only two, which is
fucked
actually
up.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a chronicle.
Right? Well, it was only one at one point.
Wow. That's even less of a chronicle, right? Like,
it's also a stupid name. It's a terrible name for this
Christmas Chronicles.
So many,
I don't know.
It doesn't have anything.
Yeah. It does feel like it's not indicative of, like, what you're getting out of it at all, right?
No. It's just the most generic. It sounds like it should be like a journalist, Hallmark movie, and instead it's whatever the fuck this was.
Yeah.
Christmas Chronicles of Riddick.
I don't know. Wait, so let's first talk about which movie did you like better?
I liked While You Were Sleeping more. I think that's
let's go. Yeah.
Far. Yeah, I mean,
Same.
it's I didn't realize how much of a nothing Netflix movie The Christmas Chronicles was going to be. Like, just like completely nothing, like empty. I knew that it was a Netflix movie, but I didn't realize how much. And as I was watching it, I was like, for the first 20 minutes, I was like, man, this is tough. We did. What did I get us into?
So the first, like, 10 or 15 minutes where they're doing just straight up exposition, right?
Yeah, kid setup. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, this is, like, okay, maybe they're building up to something. Maybe the dad is going to be Santa Claus, right?
That would have been cool. Let's
kind of implied.
This movie.
Yeah, I that's what I sort of assumed was going to happen. I feel like that's sort of like the generic, like, oh, father's missing, they find Santa Claus, Santa Claus is their father, right?
Dad died in fire. Saving some cats or whatever the fuck,
Yeah, saving my 5 cats. So it is kind of weird. Like, the curveball is that they're just throwing us a fastball right down the center. Like, I just wasn't expecting it. Like, the whole time.
It's a kids movie.
I know.
A family movie, I guess. But yeah, no, you're not wrong. I was like expecting a little bit more of a twist, but yeah.
And then you also get, like, the emotional heartstring tug at the end where they're like,
falls so flat. Flat.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I kind of get it. Like, I get what they were going for, but at the same time, it's like with the Santa writing the letter back and everything. I was like, all right, sure.
Well, by that point, you have Kurt Russell as Santa, which is to be extremely transparent.
That was Kurt Russell?
Are you fucking kidding me? You're kidding me.
I'm not
You're actually kidding me. Rick.
That's crazy.
That's why I picked the movie.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I did think he had a rustic charm about him, but I couldn't quite place why. Wow.
I wish I could kill you.
He's got breath, this guy. He's an actor.
He's got riz. Yeah. Well, that's why I picked this fucking movie. Did you think I just picked this movie for fun? Because I was like, this looks good?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think you thought it looked good. I just thought you picked it for shits, right?
That's so crazy that you didn't realize that that's him.
I thought you picked this to go opposite Christmas Shoes, which, at least to me, is a notoriously, like, cheesy Hallmark movie. I thought that was, like, the the modus operandi behind this. So I was like, all right,
No.
cool. Like, don't expect anything.
No,
All right, wow.
I had two. I
Dope.
had Miracle on 34th Street and Christmas Chronicles. Those were my two to choose from. And you're like, well, let's go new and kind of dumb or whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like, okay, bet. Which I watched Miracle on 34th Street. Bad movie. So I'm glad we watched this. This was also bad, but at least this was fun bad. That one was just kind of boring bad.
I was going to say, it may be bad. I didn't hate it. Like, it is pretty fun to watch.
Well, and this is what I'm saying. So, like, with the movie starts and it's so fucking boring.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is like very average. Like the kids are very cheesy. Like the writing is very cheesy. It's kind of, there's not a lot of emotional substance there. And then Kurt Russell comes in. Not that he adds great writing. Not that he adds, you know, like a non-cheesy performance. But he just has that A-list movie star thing that can take a movie from like completely just totally unwatchable to something you can at least crack a smile at. You know what I mean? Like, he has it.
So I'll say the first 10-15 minutes of Kurt Russell on screen where he's doing the like
you didn't even know it was
thing.
him.
I didn't know it was him. I didn't know it was him. When we see Santa Claus and he's doing the soul read thing and he's walking up to people and being like, "Hey, I know you. Yeah. I know what you want for Christmas." That shit's sick. That's a really cool idea for a movie. Like Santa like, "Hey, I need help."
Kind of a bastard.
Yeah. Pulling out the Mickey Mantle card. He's like, "This is an original Mickey Mantle card. I will trade it for your Porsche." Is it Ricky Mantle? I thought it was Mickey Mantle.
No, it's Mickey Mantle, but you sound like you're gonna say Ricky.
Ricky Randall. Call me Ricky Randall the way I be talking. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's move on. That one needed more time.
But I agree with you. If you get rid of the kids of it all.
Yeah.
Or like the main, like, we need to make the kids believe and the brother and sister need to love each other more and the kid needs it. Like, those things are just so average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he's in jail and like he's talking, he's like in the interview thing, right? And he's like, I know what Jill wants for Christmas or whatever the sergeant's wife was, right? He's like, she wants you to call her. Call her.
Yeah.
I know what you want for Christmas. I know what you want for the last 2 Christmases. She's lonely. Yeah. And then like he's like pulling out like the gifts. He's like, this was 6, 7, 8. You want me to keep going? I'll keep going. I'm like, damn, I can get behind this Santa. Like, this shit's cool. And then
it was fun.
Yeah, then we get to the kids' side plot where they're like, oh no, it's stuck in a tree. Be careful climbing the tree. Like, it's like, okay, cool.
Well,
these gangsters are trying to steal our sack of toys. Oh no! Oh no, the elves, the CGI elves. Oh no!
When the kid gets kidnapped, when the teenage boy gets kidnapped, I'm like, they're taking him to the John Wick garage. Like,
that's exactly what it was too.
I was expecting it to be like, okay, Santa's gonna come and kick their asses. Of course they don't, and they do the like minions basically or whatever the fuck, the elves, the CG elves.
They like,
but
they like bring the kids in, and the main guy is like, "You fucking idiot! You know who these people are? They call them the ghost.
You know kids. Whose gifts these are?
Yeah. And you killed his dog. Oh, like...
Alfie Allen shows up. No, but
that would have made this movie a 10 out of 10 if they had gone that route. Right? Like,
the thing is, it's like I give movies like this like slight benefit of the doubt because it's like, okay, the Kurt Russell stuff is for the parents, and then the stupid CG elves stuff is for the kids. You know, it's very much like, this is supposed to be a family movie for all generations, whatever. Just like a lot of big whatever movies. The only difference is it's like, this is on Netflix. It didn't have to be like this. I'm sure this movie has been seen by, you know, more people than like there are, you know, Christians in the world or something, but like like I'm sure
I don't know about that. Sure that's kind of
a lot, but but yeah, I don't know. It does leave a lot to be desired.
I like the musical number. Also in the prison.
See,
you didn't like it?
See, okay. I had no bones about, or like no issues with the song. I guess, even though I thought it was a little bit cringy.
Yeah, it was a little, but.
I hate when a movie or anything uses black characters as like a way to make the white protagonist cool. Now I know I sound like a hypocrite because I love the Blues Brothers, but I think the Blues Brothers is in on the joke, whereas this movie and a lot of other things are not.
Yeah.
And so it always makes me be like, oh, this is gross. I don't like this.
Yeah.
So I didn't fully enjoy it, but
I get that. I just think the music itself is like, I don't know, not bad.
The song is fun. Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of like new age Christmas music, especially, or like
not new age.
Not new age.
Nice
as far as a recent like song in a Christmas movie, right? You know, it's no Christmas shoes, but it gets the job done, right?
I can't wait to sing that song at the end of this episode so that we can get copyright strike.
Mister, could you hurry soon? Daddy says there's not much time. See, she's been sick for quite a while. Sorry.
We've only been recording for 20 minutes.
I know.
You know what's crazy is the people like listening to this are like, why are they talking about this fucking shitty movie instead of while we were sleeping?
Well, I want to get it out of the way first, right? Let's
I know. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, the rest of the movie's kind of a nothing burger to me. Like, I don't know.
Burger. Okay, Stephen Colbert.
Thanks.
Yeah, I didn't find. You know what actually is kind of brave about this movie, or like not brave, but like interesting, is the fact that they just straight up make the kid a car thief. Like,
yeah.
Of course, they don't touch on it again, but like that's actually kind of daring.
They mention
for, like,
it.
a kids movie.
Yeah,
they mention it. Yeah, because
like Santa's like, hey, you'll turn into this guy if you keep down that path. By the way.
But then I thought for sure he was gonna come clean at the end to his mom. But he obviously
yeah, like any form of reconciliation. Yeah, no.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
That's not the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, it's I don't know. There are aspects of this movie that kind of like peak. I'm like, oh, okay. Like the kid in the very beginning, the little girl, she says shit or something, like she goes to say shit, but then she censors herself. So I feel like there's just like hints of edginess that make it seem like maybe this started as like an adult movie or like a PG-13 kind of a deal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They could have gotten away with being a lot more tongue in cheek with stuff, right?
Sure. And
I think they just like they played it safe on too much, and then like I don't know, the entire middle to end of the movie is really just not much.
Not great.
I thought it was really brave that they made the elves like Dutch, right? Or Swedish.
They speak a special language. I don't think it is Elvish, or I think it's
I know it's like a made up language, but at the same time, it sounds very like,
of course, Nordic,
right? Dutch. It's like, all right, cool.
They're the Midsommar elves. They actually with the doing all their bidding. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, and apparently this was originally a found footage movie, or like a spec script for a found footage movie. So, which is interesting because in the very beginning, which this pissed me off, when they're doing like the home video retrospective, so they show like 10 years of home videos before the dad dies, and then it keeps being on a fucking camcorder, and then like. I know that like it has to be that way, but it's like they would have switched to a phone camera at some point. I don't get why the kids weren't filming with those two or taking pictures. Like, of course, Santa's gonna keep your tape. Think for a second.
Think. I think they even
don't
touched
these
on
kids
it for
know?
like half a second too.
I'm sure they did. Yeah,
like the brother like makes
uses a stupid camcorder.
Yeah. The brother makes fun of her. He's like, oh, like. Could have used that stupid shitty thing, but they like don't have phones. Just like nobody uses a cell phone. They're just not there.
Yeah, I guess they don't.
Yeah, it's just not in the movie. Yeah,
I would be a great older brother in a movie. I think I would kill that role. I think I could do really well.
I could see that.
Like a shitty, like car, older brother who breaks into a car. And bullies his little sister.
So, Elizabeth, my little sister. Like a couple of years ago, shout out Elizabeth. At the time, I thought she was just being annoying, but now I realize she was just emulating this movie. And she wanted me to be like a shitty older brother so that she could like get away with stuff. Because like she would say stuff like I would just be like having a beer or something with Pete, my dad, and she'd be like,
shout out Pete.
She'd be like, "Oh, Ricky's drinking. Oh," and like I should have played into that and been like, "Don't tell mom and dad," like that sort of stuff. But I didn't because I didn't care, and I was just like, "Yeah, I know. I'm old, by the way." Like
you are.
I know. It's crazy. It's disgusting, man. Got knots on my back. My knees are giving out. It's over.
Every morning you break your legs.
I have paper skin and glass bones. Every morning my legs break. And every night I cry myself to sleep. Alright. Anything else on the Christmas Chronicles?
What is the second one about? Does it have the same kids? Does it
it does have the same kids. I think there's like an energy source in the star on top of the Christmas tree at the North Pole, and like it has like a force field or like it powers the North Pole and it has a force field or something, and there's like maybe an evil elf that like takes it, and then the kids get recruited to help and like find the elf or something. It's something along those lines. I don't remember it very well, but either that or I'm thinking of a different movie. That's like a distinct possibility.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, hell yeah, let's go. All right. Oh, something I did want to say about this movie. The very first time that they do like the warp like travel thing and it's green and stuff, I was like, I like that. I was like, dang, that's pretty advanced for like 2008 or whatever this came out. I was like, wow, good for them, man.
Yeah, this came out in 2018. So.
Wow. And then once I saw the CGI elves, I was like, all right, I take it back. And then the next couple of times that they just keep using the same warp and they're like in the warp for too long and like throwing presents and stuff, I was like, it's done. Cut it. No more of this. That should have been left on the floor.
Things.
It's not.
One, it's very weird that Santa's sleigh is like sci-fi. Like that it's not, at least in this movie. Obviously I have not seen the deep lore from the second one.
Right.
But yeah, everything being like green and high tech and like radar. It's like, I don't know. I get that this is like a cool Santa. He's different than other Santas, but off-putting. And then also apparently in the second one, Tyrese Gibson is the boyfriend. Tyrese? Like,
I don't know who Tyrese Gibson is.
The singer? Anyway, okay. Well, anyway. Interesting. I'm intrigued by the movie's existence now.
I really just want a movie or TV show with a Christmas episode that like fully explains like that like parents just straight up don't buy gifts for kids, like adults do not buy gifts for kids, like nobody does it, and everyone like already knows that Santa Claus is a real person because like everyone here was like, oh, like Santa's not real, yada yada, right? Like under the understanding that, yeah, oh, like, it's just our parents getting us these gifts. Even, like, the older brother mentions it in the beginning of the film, right? It's like, alright, cool, fine, but he's actually real, and he's actually delivering gifts. How does that work? I just want something that addresses that, right?
There's definitely gotta be a movie with that premise.
Yeah,
that, like,
yeah,
Santa's
I mean, out
just,
there,
like, part of the ecosystem. Yeah. I'm trying to think, though. I can't think of one, but I'm sure it exists.
Yeah, okay, so I think the Phineas and Ferb Christmas episode actually does pretty well with this.
Alright, this was what we want to watch. We'll see you next week.
Watch the Christmas episode of Phineas and Ferb.
Drinking.
Yeah.
You told me to start drinking for this.
I did.
And I'm glad I didn't, because this would be unhinged. Okay, do we have anything else
you did or
you
you didn't?
About the fucking... I did not.
Alright, well that's fucked up. You should have.
Do we have anything to say about the Christmas Chronicles?
No, I've said my piece.
Oh, one other thing that I was curious about is that this was produced by Chris Columbus. Go on, make your joke. Make your 1492 joke. Nothing. No Santa Maria, Nina Pinta. No. Okay. He
You
was
actually
the
hit the
director of,
like the you hit the exact like ones that I was listening to in my.
I bet you fucking were.
But like I didn't want to say any of them because I was like it's too low hanging fruit.
You were the forehead vein. Yeah, I know.
So bad.
Chris Columbus did the first 2 Harry Potter movies and Home
Oh, shit.
Alone and some other shit too. I think he did Percy Jackson. So he just produced this movie. He
Interesting.
didn't direct it.
Okay.
But I was like, oh, is there a possibility this could have some, like, you know, juice to it? And the answer is no. It looks like shit, you know. Yeah. Anyway. Too bad.
It kind of reminds me a bit of the Percy Jackson movie. Just a small amount. There's like the same
I can
sort
see
of
that. Yeah.
I want to say like hokiness, I guess, to it. So maybe
believe that.
pokiness, you know.
I can't believe you didn't realize that was Kurt Russell. I can't believe you thought I was just watching this movie because I was like, this looks like fun.
Lane, I think I've gone over this before, but I like just don't recognize actors like at all.
That's a you problem. All right.
Wow.
While you were sleeping, tell us about why you wanted to watch this movie.
So Lauren, my mom, likes this movie a lot.
Yes! I'm sorry, but they just added the Mario 64 soundtrack to Nintendo Music.
Oh, to the app. Nice, hell yeah.
To the app. Hell yeah. Okay, sorry. You're shout out Lauren, Ricky's mom.
Yeah. She likes this movie a lot. I should say adopted mom, in case my mom, my biological mom, ever listens to this. I don't want her to feel slighted.
Anti-shout out Ricky's biological mom.
Don't anti-shout out her.
I'm slighting.
Don't slight her.
I'm passing out slights.
Don't anti-shout out. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Very nice woman. But yeah, Lauren really likes this movie. And I've watched it 2 or 3 times now with them. We've seen a couple other Christmas movies, generally rom-coms. Even ones that are just sort of loosely related. I'm trying to think of the other one that I really liked. It's about a couple who like has to fake being married in order to buy a house in like a particular neighborhood. But they actually do kind of like each other. I know it's not your wheelhouse.
Do you remember who's in it? I don't even know why I'm asking.
No, dude. Why? Like what? I remember that it was from
called...
like between the 60s or 70s, maybe.
Oh, like an old movie.
Yeah, it's an older movie. Yes. I could also be getting it confused.
Movie, or...
Yeah, I could also be getting it confused with Money Pit, which is another older movie, and that's about it's about a couple who like buys a house and they have to fix it up.
Yeah, I know about Money Pit.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I like that one.
You're so funny. The Ricky canon is so strange. God.
Money Pit reminds me a little. Anyway, yeah.
No, please go ahead. We can go long on Money Pit. Go for it.
Money Pit reminds me a little bit of Is it Playtime? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
It would be crazy if you compared Money Pit to Playtime, but it might be. I mean, take me on the journey. What are you? What is the comparison you're making?
Like, I don't know, Money Pit has a lot of, like, almost Rube Goldberg Machine-esque shenanigans that happen.
That's Playtime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
That's kind of it. But, I mean, they are very different movies, but there's, like...
These are silly movies. They're so alike.
they are a bit silly. I like silly movies.
I know.
I like being silly in general. But yeah,
so
this
why
movie
does your
was
mom
not a silly
like
movie.
This movie?
I don't know. I think it's just like her favorite movie. She also like married a guy named Peter, so like I feel like there's like a certain amount of like affection there for that.
Yeah.
It's also like it is a good movie. I appreciate it more and more the more I watch it. Yeah. It's got a lot of likable characters. It's cozy.
Yeah.
It's just a cute movie. It's nice to throw on while like snow's going outside. Under a blanket, drinking some hot chocolate. It's a good ass movie.
Yeah. I can see that. I do think that this movie's not as charming as I wish it was. Like, it's
really?
not. I think of like, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't quite transcend for me the way that like some rom-coms that I do like do. I think it. All right. I also don't think that either of the two leads are particularly attractive. I don't like Sandra Bullock does not do it for me. Bill Pullman does not do it for me. Bill Pullman is like, he has great hair in this movie, but he's not an attractive man to me.
That's so crazy. So, wow. I think it's very beautiful people in this movie.
I mean, they're movie star attractive, you know, of course they're like, you know,
right.
But like, I don't know, I'm not like, oh, I can't wait for them to kiss. Like, I don't ever feel that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm never like, I want to see this person make out. Like, like the two sides of the same coin. So.
Yeah. I just think they bring a certain, like, natural chemistry to the screen, which I really appreciate. It feels like they're, like, comfortable around each other, which I like.
They are, but I don't ever feel like these two are going to have great sex, which is the thing that I would go to a rom-com for, you know, or like,
wow, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't feel like there's a lot of passion between them, right?
Yeah, and
but
I guess that's
almost
not what this movie's about.
Yeah, it feels like a, like Victorian era courting almost, where they're just sort of like,
for you to say that. Yeah,
but... not to that degree, I guess, but like, you know, they're just sort of like, you know, very sort of, oh, like, I'm not very, you know, amiable to pictures, and then he's like, oh, says you, or something. Like, I don't know. They like,
there is like,
they just sort of poke fun.
Witticism or like witty dialogue. Yeah, I hear you there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess, yeah. I mean, Sandra Bullock is kind of playing like a mousy, like she's not supposed to be like, whatever.
Yeah, she's not supposed to be a bombshell or whatever, and she's not supposed to like sweep these guys off their feet. Yeah.
But even in a movie like, you know, I don't know, like I know what you're kind of conveying here with the courting, but like I think of like Pride and Prejudice, right? Is like the classic romance with like, God, we gotta fucking watch that movie, Ricky. Is that
the one with Mr. Darcy?
Canon.
Is that?
It sure is.
Okay,
yeah,
all right. You said that way too seriously, man.
White women cooked with that one. Yeah, he's hot in that movie. That's a movie that movie.
I thought that was a full-ass TV show.
It's been a TV show. I bet it's a play. I bet it's like fucking a radio show. Like a podcast. We should have a Pride and Prejudice podcast. We should do that. Podcasts and Prejudice.
I was thinking Pod and Prejudice, or we could do... That sounds a bit wrong. We could do Pride and Podjudice.
Podjudice is tough.
Yeah, wow.
Podjucast.
I don't want to say Pod and Prejudice. That sounds bad, bro.
But so that movie is all about, like, longing and, like... I mean, it's not all about it, but there's a lot of, like, subdued, like, I can't show my true feelings kind of, like, romance in that. And so, I don't know. This is just, like... I mean, obviously, the central kind of conceit and, like, stress that she's under is very different than the stress that he's under.
Yeah.
Like, she's worried about getting found out. She doesn't really seem to have feelings for him. Like, her feelings during the rest of the movie are not really about him.
Right.
So,
and I mean, they're pretty explicit about that, right? Like,
for sure. Right.
Both in the movie
I just don't find it as
like,
compelling.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the story of, like, falling in love with the family, and then, like...
That part's nice.
Yeah. And then she meets, like, the brother, and she's like, oh, shit. He's actually a pretty nice guy. Oh, okay. Like, I think I kind of like him.
Which
and then they get to, like, the hijinks. I don't know. It's cute.
But when they introduce him, because it takes a minute. I actually didn't realize Bill Pullman was... I didn't know anything about this movie. I had not seen this movie. So I knew vaguely that someone was in a coma and she pretends to be the fiance. Right. I thought that she was going to end up with the coma guy, like the brother, because I didn't know that, like, the actual point of the movie is that she falls in love with the, you know, the awake one. I entered this movie like, damn, how are they going to pull this off? Like, you know,
you're like watching the clock. You're like, they only got half an hour left. This guy's still asleep. Like, what's going on here?
Well, by the time they're like, oh yeah, you know, his brother, you know, he'll be there, Jack or whatever. I was like, oh, okay. And then they introduce him stepping out of the car with his big ass work boots. I'm like, okay, it's over. Like, it's so over. It's just, Go ahead. You talk more. I've been I've been ranting.
No. I mean, I liked it, and then like the title drop at the end, the name drop. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
cute.
that shit a lot.
That's
yeah.
cute. Yeah.
And
Put a nice bow on it.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. I think the whole movie is very cute. It's like, again, it's not like hugely passionate. And I don't think it's trying to be, right? It's.
Yeah. You haven't seen When Harry Met Sally, right? Have you heard of that movie?
Is that the no?
That's Billy Crystal.
Oh no.
Meg Ryan. Yeah. It's a movie from I want to say 89, maybe 1990. It's really good. It's a movie that has the same kind of like push and pull between the two leads. It's not in like a they get together like and then they fight and then they end up like it's and they're both like more down to earth, kind of like neurotic characters. Like they're not just like two beautiful people falling in love or whatever. But that movie's a lot more charming in the way that it deals with relationships, I think, and like the longing that both characters feel. Again, So I don't think it even has to be that they're more passionate. I don't
even know if this movie's about the longing though, right? Like it's they don't like linger on it.
What it is. Much. She's just not longing for just a man. She's longing for like a whole different life, and the man is part of it.
Right, right.
I don't ever feel like her longing is that intense, though. Like I don't even think I don't ever feel her longing.
Right. Well, I can understand that. I think it's more like she gets a glimpse of a life that she could lead, right?
Sure.
And then she.
But even before the events of the movie, it like opens with her being like, damn, I'm so lonely with my cat.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that maybe they could have done more with like the I wish I was traveling, like that sort of thing, like beforehand. Like I need to get out of this job. I need to like see the world, that sort of thing. Right. A little bit earlier, because they really sort of introduce it sort of towards the end. And it's kind of the impetus for like her, like she encourages Pete to like get off his ass and like actually pursue what he wants to do. And in turn,
not Pete, Jack.
Not Pete. Oh, Jack
is the man she gets. Oh, Peter is the coma brother. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, she convinces Jack to like get off his ass, chase his dreams, and then like in turn, in so doing that, like she realizes, oh shit, like I should be doing that in my own life.
Yeah. It's very I don't have a problem with this movie. Not really. Mm-hmm. I think this is a perfectly fine execution of a rom-com. Obviously, lots of people like it. It's just not for me. I don't know.
That's fair.
There are aspects of this movie I do like. I think the like set design is really good. It is the Home Alone style of set design of like, okay, we're making a Christmas movie. So all of the wallpaper has to be red and green. Like, we gotta make sure the pillows are all red and green. Which is fun.
Yeah. I just love the character interaction. Like, I don't know.
That too.
Yeah, a lot of the characters, they all feel sort of like true to life, and there's a lot of like, I guess, contrived drama that occurs, but it's all cute, silly, and fun.
Yeah, totally. Like the family dynamics as like a storytelling device, I think, or like as just as a way of like bringing all of these characters to life, like the way they interact with each other and how the kooky kind of grandma and then obviously the two brothers interacting toward the end. All of that is fun for sure.
Yeah. I think it's great. And I don't know, like that's what I see as the, I guess, central points of the film, is that yes, like both characters are sort of like longing for a different life than what they're currently leading, and they sort of find what they're looking for in each other, but they only do that because of like everyone else and the weird circumstances that they go through, which I don't know, it's cute.
Yeah.
Also the one old guy who like is in a lot of other stuff. He's like mostly baldish. I don't know his name. Love that guy. Love him as an actor.
Jack Warden. the guy that is like, that finds out early on that she's lying, that guy.
Yeah.
The, like, godfather
Yes.
or whatever, or like friend of the family. Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah.
Love
He's
him.
in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. He's excellent in everything he does. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's a good cast. Like, I don't love Sandra Bullock or Bill Pullman, but like, they are definitely heavy hitters. Peter Gallagher, who is the brother in the coma, when he shows up, I'm like, oh fuck. I was excited for him to be like the one that she ends up falling in love with, because I was like, I've never seen him in like a main role in a movie.
And you never will.
And I never will. No, I was looking through his filmography afterward, and like, I know he's in Sex, Lies, and Videotape, which is a movie we should probably watch one day, but other than that, he's usually like the douchebag boyfriend or friend or whatever,
or like
in a lot of stuff.
In a coma
he's in Mr.
boyfriend.
Right. So, maybe someday. But Peter Boyle, who is the dad, I'm surprised you didn't mention him being from Everybody Loves Raymond. Is that not a show that you've seen?
It is a show that I've seen. Yeah. He's great too. I liked him a lot in Everybody Loves Raymond. Yeah. For some reason, I thought he was in King of Queens.
No.
And different guy. Now that I'm thinking of it, I can picture both of their faces, and I'm like, all right, that's like so wrong. As soon as you said Everybody Loves Raymond, it like brain blasted me. I was like,
clicked. Well, that is him.
Yeah. I knew something was wrong because I was like, is that him in King of Queens? I'm just not even going to mention it. I don't really remember, but yeah, he's funny. He plays essentially the same character here, except like he's more genial instead of being like crotchety, right? So
crotchety, yeah. I do think I wish the family dynamics were explored a little bit more with Sandra Bullock's character, with Lucy. Just because it would be nice to know a little bit more about, like, she's there and she doesn't really get to be or like form very many relationships with the family. She just kind of is like an outsider looking in. And so obviously you get the longing of like, oh, she wants to be a part of this and have a big family to go back to, and like, isn't family arguing over Christmas dinner great, and like in Catholic Mass, which is so funny, that scene. But yeah, you don't get a lot of like her interacting with people one-on-one other than the Jack Warden character, so it would have been nice to see a little bit of that,
Yeah, especially with like the grandmother, who like they make a huge point of like, oh, like
she might die.
Yeah, her heart can't take it. Like, yeah. So I mean, like, just one scene, right? Like, them making cookies or something would have like added a lot to it. Yeah, like anything, right?
Yeah.
Just But what are you gonna do? I feel like the rewrites for this movie are significantly less than the Christmas Chronicle.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this, like, you're either on this movie's wavelength or you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think there's a couple of things about I mean, not to be like cinema cincy, this is a horror movie premise.
Right.
Like,
I guess, it kind of is. You like wake up from a coma and like someone's like, no.
And I'm not just saying that facetiously to be like, oh, this is such a creepy contrived premise, but like, you could definitely make this movie into a horror movie, and it could kind of be interesting. Or it probably, I mean, I'm sure there are plenty that already apply, of like being gaslit into thinking like, oh yeah, I've been your fiance this whole time. You have amnesia. Like,
yeah. It is also kind of weird how long she keeps it up. Like, it's odd at first, I mean, and then like how long it goes on for. It's like, all right, like, you gotta cut it. Like, this has got to stop.
Yeah. Shit is way too hot. You need to cut it.
You need to cut it.
I need to cut that joke.
Keep it in.
Yeah.
Keep that burp in too.
with the burp, yeah. Also, there are some that, like, again, it's a rom-com, but it did make me laugh out loud when she was like, you remind me of my dad. I'm like, That's what you're gonna fall in love with this man?
That's the calm of the rom-com. They're throwing in some Freudian
slips. I don't
slips.
think they were calming. I don't think they were calming.
It's a slip.
Here.
It's a slip, Lane. Come on.
I don't know. Well, and then
it's
he's
icy out there.
When he's still skeptical of her, he's like, wow, you've been together 3 months. That's a pretty short engagement. Meanwhile, they get engaged and then get married like like a week later. The two of them, like he proposes to her like after. Yeah. Anyway,
the proposal is really cute too. It's nice.
The proposal's cute. Yeah, I knew that you would love that as a fan of public transit.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. It's just cute. The whole thing is like cute. I also, going back to the horror story thing.
A very cute mugging in the beginning too. Like, he wasn't in danger. Like, they just wanted to look at his scarf. They weren't really mugging him. It's fine. Did they catch those two hoodlums, by the way?
No.
It was probably the kid from
It was
fucking
the kid.
Christmas
Yeah, there you go, yeah. Good pull. I appreciate that, yeah.
Thank you. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Oh, crap. I think I just lost it. Oh, going back to the horror movie thing. Like, the whole, like, the yearning that she has in the beginning, where she's like, oh, he's so beautiful, like, oh, I should just go out there, just say something to him. He's always here at, like, 9:15 a.m. taking the train. It's like, alright, you know the dude's schedule. You're obviously yearning. At what point does this become weird, man? Like, really weird, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think it's already kind of there.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. It
when you're internally monologuing,
weird.
right? Like, you cross the line.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm here being like, when is my mailman gonna come today? The hot one that delivers my mail every day at 3:45.
You're like ordering stuff off Amazon, like 50-pound packages. You're like, yeah, I just want to see him struggle a little bit. Bring in that cat litter for me, thanks.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Well, and then, of course, she does end up having this wild invasion of his privacy.
Yeah.
The way, and again, it's a rom-com, it's fine. But the way that they all accept her immediately, because they're so pissed off at the two brothers and fighting or whatever at the end of the movie, it's like... I wish they had some respect. They're so desperate for someone to get married, they're like... they're fine with it.
Okay.
They're like, please join our family. Please be normal.
I think it's cute, and also, as someone who goes home to family and has to hear, like, oh, when are you getting married? Like, I want to go to a marriage soon. Like,
when are you getting married, Ricky?
Yeah, good question, Lane.
How long have you been together?
This is like, thankfully, I'm not going back. That's like the one silver lining, is that I'm not going back this year to hear that question, like, minimum half a dozen times, right? It's like, all right, wow.
That's crazy. Yeah. You should marry one of your cats.
I was about to say, I should fall in front of a train.
Either she gets me or she gets me. I mean...
Have I ever told you about the time that I almost got hit by a train?
No.
So...
I'm not surprised. Were you distracting the conductor the way that you do for every fucking driver and passenger in the car?
No. They don't let you up into the conductor's booth. So
I've tried.
I never had the opportunity. Yeah.
Was this an Amtrak?
No, this was a SEPTA train. So when I was going to college, I lived... so the train was like a mile and a half away from the college campus. And I lived like right next to the train, so I would just take the train in, take it back. And I was at college like really late, so the shuttle had stopped running. So I had to walk it. So I walked there in the rain. And I got there like, I don't think it was like right as the train was coming, but, or well, it was right as the train was coming, but I didn't know that, right? And I was like really tired. It had to be like 9:30, 9:45 or something like that. And so I was walking just to like, so the side of the tracks that I was on was not the
wrong side.
It was the wrong side, yeah. And the crossing platform is just right across the tracks. So I got there, and there's no lights, there's no like stopping bars or anything, and I just kept walking, and someone like behind me said, "Hey, wait, stop!" And I woke up because like I was just like autopiloting right there, and I turn, and I swear to God, the train was like the length of your living room away from me. Because I just turned and see the lights, and I like took a step back, and I was already on. So it's like two sets of tracks, right? The train was on like the opposing tracks. I was I was on the other set of tracks. I was like about to take the step into it. So yeah, some girl saved my life. Thank you, random Penn State student who I never really talked to after that. Didn't really talk to her there either. I just I said, hey, thanks. I'm really tired. But yeah, good times.
So 2 things.
1,
that was probably Sandra Bullock.
Probably.
And 2, I fucking believe it. Because just 3 days ago, you fucking crossed the street without looking. And I said,
Yeah.
Ricky, you just crossed the street without looking. You could have fucking died.
Yeah.
And what did you say?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not the end of the world, right? I mean, alright, like, I could do this anytime up here. It doesn't really
Dude!
matter.
I'm gonna have to bleep that.
Yeah, you're right.
Every time. I'm like, cool, we're getting to the end. We're at like a cool 60-minute episode. This is gonna be great. The editing's gonna go by so fast. Bam, a bleep. Fuck you.
At least you know where it's at, right? Like.
Anyway, okay. Do we have anything else we want to say about this movie?
No, I don't know. I like it. Fun, cozy, cute watch.
You're valid. You're allowed. Who wrote this? 2 randos. 2 complete randos that have never been in anything else. Cool.
You're so aggressive about that, bro.
I didn't mean it that way. I was
But
just
cool.
It's just
2 fucking randos. Cool. Sorry,
it's just weird, you know?
It is,
Usually people have multiple writing credits. Interesting.
Very interesting.
This Wikipedia page for this person says it cites his LinkedIn.
Hit him up on LinkedIn.
I'm going to. Just connect with him. Yeah, his LinkedIn is cited. Oh. And yet now the link is broken. The link is no longer in.
Linked out.
I was gonna say something else.
You think Zelda ever says that after like really long, tough day? She's like, I'm just linked out. Okay, I can't deal with this anymore.
Why would Zelda say that and not Link?
Because she's the one that has to deal with Link. And him like breaking pots and shit everywhere. She's like, I'm linked out. Yeah, well, it happens.
I was gonna say something else about this movie. Now I'm mad I can't think of it. It wasn't about this movie. You've seen Home Alone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the Marv, the Wet Bandit?
Yeah.
Not Joe Pesci, but the other one?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. He is only 32 years old in that movie.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Which one is Joe
That is
Pesci?
insane.
The short one or the tall one?
Joe Pesci's the short one.
Okay.
You are so
The
fucked
tall
up
one
for
is
having to
32?
ask that.
I mean, that's...
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not crazy to me. How old should he be?
That's not crazy. Older than Christopher, who I think is still not home, so I can say that.
I saw him walk by in the background earlier.
Oh, did you? Okay, I haven't
Like,
seen him.
20 minutes ago? Maybe 30?
Maybe. I have my headphones in. Are you home? Oh, he might be in the shower.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully if he walked by, I hope he was wearing clothes.
I couldn't tell. I just saw a Sasquatch in the back.
Oh, you would have been able to tell. Alright. It was a good pick. It was a good Rick's pick. While you were sleeping.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, sweet.
This is also supposed to be a Rick's pick for our next one.
Yeah.
What if I killed you?
I'd be dead, Lane.
Rick better make a pick. Or do you want me to?
I don't know. Can I defer this one?
Yeah, but don't make this a habit.
I won't.
Are you in the mood for anything?
I could go for some Chinese.
Are you in the mood for a particular movie?
No. No, whatever you're feeling like.
I should make you go to the movie theater and see Nosferatu.
That's a bit of an ask.
Shut up.
Kita bumped the mic, by the way. So
That's okay. We've been ripping burps into the mic all night, so...
I know.
Do you want to watch a...
Oh, wait. We could do,
You're about to say something stupid. I can hear it in your voice.
What's the Equalizer? Is that the Denzel movie?
It is the Denzel movie, but let's save those for a rainy day. That should be a back pocket movie, I think.
Okay.
It's on the list, though.
Yeah, for the watchers, I recently watched American Gangster, and I really liked it.
Fuck you for watching that, not on this podcast. You do these things, you go off all half-cocked, and you watch these movies.
Right. What the fuck do you mean half-cocked watching? I'm whole-cocked watching those movies, alright? Denzel was in that
cock
shit, bro.
in hand, yeah. Alright, do you want to watch, kind of like a smaller or larger scale movie? Like, kind of like a relationship, like, not relationships, but, like, smaller cast, kind of like smaller issues, or big cast, bigger issues.
I don't know. Let's do big cast, big issues, I guess.
Okay, I dig it. Alright, so this is kind of a project, for us. So, no, not like that. So, 1975 is considered the best year of Best Picture nominees ever, right?
Okay.
So you've got, and stop me if you've heard this one. So you got Barry Lyndon.
Oh, yeah.
You got Jaws.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Crazy that those two came out in the same year.
Hang on. We got One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, a movie I'm sure you haven't seen, but that you've probably heard of.
Well, fuck you. Maybe I have seen it.
Have you seen it?
No, go on.
Dog Day Afternoon, another movie that you've probably heard of but haven't seen. That's a Pacino
again. Yeah.
bank robber movie. And then lastly is Nashville, which is a movie I bet you have not heard of or seen.
No, yeah.
Okay. That is number 5. That's the only one of these I have not seen.
Okay.
So, that's Nashville from 1975, directed by Robert Altman. Considered to be one of the best movies ever made. One of the best filmmakers ever.
I've heard Altman before. What else has he done?
Probably no movies that you've seen. He did Popeye.
Cool.
He did the Popeye with whatever, Shelley Duvall and Robin Williams.
Like the really old one?
The old one, yeah. So maybe you've seen that.
I have seen that, actually, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
What was it, like, was that 70s or
I want to say it was like
60s?
I want to say it was early 80s, but yeah, I mean,
I might have watched one. I might have watched an earlier version, maybe.
That's crazy. This is an old 80, like an old looking 1980. So.
Oh, okay. Then it might have been that. I used to really like Popeye, like growing up, and I watched a bunch of like really really old Popeye movies, just like anything that the library had, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Sure. Well, we are not watching Popeye. We are watching Nashville. But yeah, he's done other movies. He did, again, ones I don't think you've probably seen, but like The Long Goodbye. I brought up The Player a few
Heard of The Long Goodbye.
weeks ago on this podcast, which is a movie I really like. Anyway, so yeah, well, he did MASH. You've heard of MASH?
Nice. Yeah. I've seen MASH.
Yeah.
I've seen all of MASH, the movie on the TV show.
Okay. So yeah. So, yeah, I have not seen Nashville. That's like this is going to be like a totemic. This is like one of those big ones. So,
Hell yeah.
I want to say it's like a 3-hour movie. It might be like 2 and change, but yeah. So, I'm excited to watch it. It gets referenced a whole shit ton. You know, it's just definitely one of those big touchstone American movies. So,
Sweet. I love touching
cool. What were we singing earlier?
Mister, could you hurry? Wait, it's...
Yeah, there was another song that you were singing a minute ago, but I can't remember what it was.
Was I? What was it?
It was a throwaway gag. Go ahead, you can...
It was a throwaway gag, yeah.
You can go on with the Christmas shoes, that's fine. Because there's not much time. It's Christmas Eve and these shoes are just her size.
yeah. Looking at it.
Are you forgetting that we sang this whole song last year?
Not the whole song.
You're so close to the fucking camera right now. It's unconscious.
There are more lyrics. Bro, I'm this far from the camera. I'm almost a full arm's length away.
Take us out.
Just so you're aware.
Please put us out of our misery. Put this year out of our misery.
Could you hurry, sir? Daddy says it's not much time.
Not Daddy.
You see, she's been sick for quite a while, and I know these shoes would make her smile, and I want her to look beautiful if Mama meets Jesus tonight.
Do you think when the kids...
always...
Go ahead. No, please.
I always thought that this song was like, and the movie in general, was like super weird and like borderline inappropriate for like anyone to watch. It's like misery porn to like watch and listen to. It
is. Do you think that the kids that sang the song, like in the part where it's like the chorus at the end when all the kids are singing the song, do you think that they were also struggling not to laugh while they were singing it like you are, or?
Probably not.
Hey, jingity jing, it's Dominic the donkey, jingity jing, the Italian Christmas donkey, la